What is up, my legion of leasers, my army of apartment maniacs? We're gonna have a little session today. We are gonna talk about something that is so critical, so vital, and yet so easy to tune up and become skillful at, that's gonna get us so many leases. What is this thing that's so easy for us to fix, so easy for us to work on together right now? It's follow-up. So I want to take a couple minutes. I want to work together as a group. We're going to be constructive. We're going to participate. We're going to help each other out, and we're going to tune up our follow-up. And after this session right here, right now, guess what's going to happen? We're going to get a lot more leases. We're going to have to do a lot less work. And isn't that weird that I'm saying we're going to be able to do a lot less work and follow up in the same sentence? Because a lot of times that's follow-up's one of those things that nobody wants to talk about it, and I get it if you guys don't want to admit it because your coworkers are on the call, but I'll be honest if you're not going to be honest. It gives us a lot of anxiety. A lot of us just flat out don't do it because we don't think it works, right? We're too busy doing other things. All right, so why don't I just gave you two reasons. We're too busy doing other things and we don't think it works. Why else do you think, not you, because you're super skillful, but average leasing consultants, average property managers, why do you think they don't follow up? Somebody unmute yourself. Give me your thoughts on why they don't follow up.
Afraid of rejection.
Afraid of rejection. I like that one a lot, right? Afraid of rejection. That's a great one. Who else has got one?
You might not have any apartments available, so you don't bother calling them since you don't have anything.
Yeah, I don't have anything available. Why should I call this person? I mean, the company only spent $150 for me to get that lead, but I ain't got anything available right now, so they'll figure it out on their own. Love it. Why else?
They have the time to follow up?
Yeah, we don't always have the time to follow up. And by not having the time to follow up, can you give me a few examples of the things that may or may not get in your way that cause you to not have the time to follow up? What are some of those things that happen in your day-to-day that cause you not to follow up?
Tours.
Got a tour.
Paperwork a lot of times.
Paperwork. Love it.
How about residents?
Residents. What else? What else would be happening for us not to be able to follow up?
Busy phones. We're getting other calls.
Busy phones. Got it. What else?
Regionals.
Regionals. Love it. Okay, let's debunk this a little bit right now, because this is a lot of this is stuff that's in our own heads. We think we're a lot busier than we really are, right? And I'm going to show you a way to be skillful with follow-up, where your follow-up's going to take about 28 seconds per follow-up. You heard me correct. How does he know it's 28 seconds? Because I watch this stuff and I monitor this stuff and I time the people that I coach making follow-up calls, right? So I'm going to show you a more skillful way to make follow-up. But tours, we don't have that many tours in the day. I'm sorry. There's just not that many tours to where we don't have. How many tours could you have in a day? Let's say 8 tops. Does anybody do any more than 8 tours in a day?
We did 9 yesterday.
9. Okay, so we had 9 tours, right? That's like a maxed out number. I just said it takes 28 seconds to follow up. So that's, to follow up on those 9 tours from yesterday is going to take you 4 minutes and, what is that, 4.5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, okay, right around the 5-minute mark. Unless you are not going to the bathroom and you haven't eaten, and by the way, you would quit your job if it was that hellacious of an environment. You have 5 minutes today to follow up on the 9 tours from yesterday. Even if you're not super like black belt ninja level with the follow-up, which you will be when you practice it, Let's say it takes you twice as long. It's 10 minutes, okay? Paperwork. Unless I get fired as your coach, okay? I'm telling you right now as your coach, we are crossing paperwork off of the list, all right? This is one of the things when I had an ownership stake in 400 units that drove me nuts, and we set a new policy the minute I wrote the check for those units. Follow-up supersedes paperwork every damn day of the week. Because if we're not following up, we're not getting leases. And if we don't have leases, we don't have occupancy. And if we don't have occupancy, we don't have cash flow. And if we don't have cash flow, we don't have a business. And if we don't have a business, we don't have paperwork, right? Follow-up should supersede your paperwork. Should also kind of supersede your residents, right? And we can talk about that on the next coaching call, but we got to be more skillful with our residents, right? If a resident is coming in and monopolizing our time because she wants to talk about how her cat got into a college, right? That sounds really awesome, Cheryl. I love it. Hey, I'm right in the middle of a few things. Notice how I've got my sword and shield. Sword, shield, right? Sword, shield. If I don't have anything in my hands, oh, Cheryl, oh, that's amazing. I love watching your cat videos. But if I got something in my hand, oh my gosh, the cat. Love the cat, Cheryl. That's awesome. Hey, I'm right in the middle of a couple things. My break is at 3:30. If you want to swing back by the lead, I'd love to talk to you over a little coffee over my break. But I got to jump back into this. Fair enough? Yeah, sure. Yeah, great to see you. Bye-bye. Back to your follow-up calls. Okay, busy phones. They're not ringing completely off the hook. All right, and I want us to answer the phones if they're ringing. So the phone ringing supersedes your follow-up, right? Priorities. So if it's ringing, I want you to answer. It's a great day at Meadows. What can I get you information on? Okay, we've talked about phones. Regionals, again, unless one of these regionals wants to fire me, if you're having chit-chat conversations with your regionals and you had 9 tours yesterday and you haven't followed up with those 9 tours, we've got a problem. We got to prioritize, right? Okay, so let's fix our follow-up. Let's make it easy. Let's get to those 28-second follow-ups. So you just showed me yesterday a 2-bedroom apartment. You were super skillful. You walked me through your tour organizer sheet before the tour. You, on the phone, asked me what my biggest reason for moving was. I told you that I just got a new job. Yay, congratulations, you got a new job. Wanted a 2-bedroom because I wanted to use that 2nd bedroom as an office. What was most important to me was space. I'm in a 550 square foot apartment right now. It is so small. I'm doing my Zoom meetings from my job from my bed. You were skillful. You were on it. You were Leasing University certified leasing consultant. And you showed me this unit. Hey, Matt, based on everything that you're telling me, I think I have the perfect one to show you. It's unit 207. It's a corner unit. It's a 2-bedroom. What's really neat about this particular floor plan is 2nd bedroom does not have its own bathroom. Right? Not a great situation if you have a roommate, but for you being a professional, this is like ideal, right? And I'm like, yo, I love it. And you go for the close. Hey, does it make sense to sign the lease? Oh, no, I just got to think about it, right? And you go through all your stuff there. We're not going to get into closing training, but for some reason, you weren't able to get the close. I told you I need to think about it. It is now the next day, okay? Who wants to leave the voicemail, because I keep it real. We know they don't answer their phone. Who wants to leave the voicemail of what you're going to leave for me when I looked at that 2-bedroom yesterday? Somebody unmute yourself. And tell me when you're ready to go. I will give you my voicemail, and then you leave the message.
I'll do it.
Awesome. All right. Tell me when you're ready, and then I'm going to give you my voicemail, which, by the way, you guys can steal. If you want to be super professional, skillful, and effective, go into your phones right now and change your voicemail to mine. Don't say my name. But tell me, are you ready to leave the voicemail for me?
Sure.
Ring, ring, ring. You've reached Matt. Your call is very important to me. Please leave a message or send a text on how I can best respond, and that's exactly what I'll do. Beep.
Hey Matt, this is Nicole calling from Bennington Hills. Just wanted to follow up with you today to see if you are interested in putting in the application for the 2-bedroom. Give me a call back when you get a chance. Thank you.
You want to make it super ninja skillful?
Yeah.
Okay. First thing, tonality. I want us to be down to business. I want us to be in a hurry to help. Another thing, we got to clean up our language. She used a bad word in there. Anyone want to take a guess at the word she used? She dropped an F-bomb. What's the F-bomb?
Follow-up.
Dang tootin'. We don't want to say that anymore. We don't want to use the F word and we don't want to use the C word. Ooh, they're bad. They'll get you in trouble with your teacher at Leasing University. We're never following up. We're never checking in. Why? Our authority and our credibility starts up here with the message. As soon as we say, I'm just following up or I'm just checking in, our authority and our credibility goes way down. Here's something else. And I lay abed at night thinking about this stuff so you guys don't have to. Okay? And there was nothing wrong. I appreciate you volunteering and do it. You did a great job. I'm just going to tune this up. we're going to work some magic on this. But when I leave, like let's say I left Nicole a message and I said, hey Nicole, it's Matt Easton with Leasing University. I'm just following up to see if you're interested in getting the sales coaching for your property managers. When it's a good time for you, if you could just give me a call. I'm at 303-803-7372. Okay? It's passive. It's, for lack of a better word, and I'm not giving you a hard time, it's perceived as weak. Also, whenever you use the F word following up, not only do you lose your credibility, but what have we done? What are the rules that we've established for this relationship? And you guys are not getting callbacks right now from your follow-up. One, because you're not doing it. If you're doing it, you're not doing it enough. And if you're doing it enough, you're not being skillful. Okay? And when we don't leave a skillful message, when we use the F word, what we don't understand, and I'm the guy that thinks about this stuff so you don't have to, it's like a bad dating relationship. What I've done when I say I'm just, and especially if you use the J word, I'm just following up, or I'm just checking in. Even if you don't use the J word, I'm following up, I'm checking in. The relationship, the rules of the relationship that you've established are this. I will continue to call you and follow up until you feel like answering your phone. And you will continue to read, not listen. It's an important thing we got to understand. People are reading our voicemails. They're not listening to our voicemails. They're going into their visual voicemail. They're looking at it. And as soon as they read the words follow up, there's delete. Why would I delete it? Because Nicole will follow back up with me. Because that's what Nicole does. You all have been or know somebody who has been in a dating situation that is very similar to a traditional leasing follow-up situation. You know you got that friend that's dating that person that never calls them, never does anything. Friend calls, nothing, goes. 2 o'clock in the morning on a Friday, right? Oh, hey, yeah, come on over. It's not cool. Those are not healthy relationships. That's one person constantly being available for the other person and the other person treating that person like garbage until it's convenient for them. Okay? This isn't a relationship counseling session, but it could be because we have relationships with our prospective residents. And we have to be skillful and move this relationship forward. Because in many cases, we need to save our prospects from themselves. Because moving is scary, moving is stressful, moving is expensive. When something is scary, stressful, and expensive, we have a tendency to avoid it. So when we use words like, I'm just following up, I'm just checking in, just wanted to see if you're still interested, all of that is just basically serving up on a silver platter an invitation for that person to delay. And when they delay, rents go up, availability goes down, and then they get upset, they get angry with us, and it's not our fault. Well, it kind of is because we weren't skillful with our follow-up because the unit they looked at is no longer available or prices went up. right? So how could we be more skillful and polish this up? By the way, that was about a 45-second follow-up. I talked about a 28-second. And when I say 28 seconds, that includes the time for their voicemail and the beep and the ringing, okay? So the easiest way for you to follow up is this. And I'd maybe write this down if you had a sword and shield. I'm calling to see if it makes sense to blank. And whatever the blank you want to be. Now, one other quick point here in that follow-up call. Okay, we're tuning this up. Again, you didn't do anything wrong. What did we talk about? What was the blank that she wanted me to do?
To complete an application online.
To complete an application online. Okay. How do we get paid? Correct. Does the bank take applications?
No.
No. What do we want? We want a lease. Correct? We don't want an application. So from here on out, stop it. Knock it off. Stop asking for applications. That's not what you want. Now you're like, well, I need to ask for the application because they're not approved. And I don't want to be a pushy, sleazy, I don't want to make people think that they're approved. I didn't tell you to say, hey, you're approved. I didn't tell you to lie. I want you to ask for the lease. And then when the person agrees to lease the apartment, you use my magical words. What happens next? Awesome, congratulations, you made a great decision. What happens next? We're going to fill out the application, typically get those back in about 24 to 48 hours. Okay, did you hear how my tonality, how smooth I was? Awesome, Nicole. Congratulations, you made a great decision. What happens next? I'm going to shoot you over to the app. It's pretty easy to fill out. Once you get that filled out online, I typically get those back in about 24 to 48. We'll call you with the results and everything's smooth sailing from there. Right? However you want to word that, however your process is. But when we're leaving the follow-up call, I want us to leave as simple as, does it make sense to blank? Sounds like this. Hey, Nicole, Matt Easton over here at Legacy, calling to see if it makes sense to lease that 2-bedroom we looked at yesterday. I'm available at 303-803-7372. Let's say I needed to bring my wife by. That's where we left it. You can change the lease to whatever that blank was. Hey, Matt, it's Nicole over here at Legacy, calling to see if it makes sense to bring your wife by the community today. I'm at 303-803-7372. Now do you see how you can follow up with 9 people in 5 minutes? Notice what my voicemail doesn't say. Hey, Nicole, it's Matt at Legacy. Happy Wednesday to you. Hump day, hump day. Hope you're enjoying this spring weather. Awesome, isn't it? Hey, so I'm just following up. I'm just checking in to see how you're doing, how your home search is going. Wanted to see if we're still looking, if you are still looking. And we don't realize we're doing this because we're trying to be pleasant. There's nothing pleasant with that. I know it sounds pleasant, but there's nothing pleasant with that, okay? Because what did we establish? We established that they're reading our voicemail. And when you say stuff like that, they have to read through 4 pages of stuff. They know you don't care about how their Monday's going. You don't, guys. You're a real estate professional, okay? So be more professional. Streamline it. Hey, Matt, it's Nicole over here at Legacy, calling to see if it makes sense to lock in the lease on that 2-bedroom we looked at yesterday. You can reach me at 303-803-7372. Now, if you are NSO, Next Step Obsessed, which I hope you are, I hope you're working to get there, I want you to use my 2 favorite words, as promised. So Nicole and I went through our check down on the close, and she says, man, I understand that I could lose the apartment, but I really got to think about it over the weekend. Hey, no problem, Nicole. I'll call you Monday at 2:30 p.m. if I haven't heard from you before then. Fair enough? Right? I'm setting a next step, crystal clear next step. Monday at 2:30 p.m. Now I can use my 2 favorite words. Hey, Nicole, it's Matt over here at Legacy. As promised, it's 2:30 on Monday. Calling to see if it makes sense to sign the lease on that 2-bedroom we looked at. You can reach me at 303-803-7372. Okay? I want you guys to work on this. This is your homework for this month. I want you to start following up like this. We're going to remove all of the fluff. We're never going to say follow up. We're not going to ask for an application. We're going to keep it simple. Calling to see if it makes sense to blank. The blank is whatever you wanted them to do. Calling to see if it makes sense to sign the lease. Calling to see if it makes sense to bring your roommate by. Calling to see if it makes sense to renew your lease. Calling to see if it makes sense for you to actually come and tour if it was a phone call. Calling to see if it makes sense to sign the lease agreement that you agreed to sign yesterday. Whatever it is that you wanted them to do, you can do the blank, right? Let's say they agreed to the app and for some reason they hadn't filled it out. Now you can say, calling to see if it makes sense to complete the app. But don't put that extra step in there unless you've asked them to complete the app and they didn't do, unless you've asked them to close. They said, yes, I will lease the apartment. You said, great, what happens next is you fill out the app, and then they ghost you on the app. Now I'm giving you permission to call and see if it makes sense to complete the app, okay? Not checking in, not following up. What questions do you guys have for me? The way people rent apartments has changed. Today's renter has access to more information. Today's renter has more choices. The apartment industry needs you. Studies have shown that moving is the most stressful life event. The old sales training, well, it just doesn't work today. I'd like to teach you how to take the stress out of leasing apartments in a way that's meaningful to you and your renters and get you 7 times more leases. I'll show you how the perfect leasing process works. I'm gonna walk you through everything from answering the phone to closing the lease. I'm gonna show you how to determine your prospects' wants and their needs so that you can build value in your apartments. You will learn how to handle any objection or complaint. I'm gonna show you how to connect with your renter so it's easy for them to rent with you. I've taught the best property management companies and thousands of people just like you how to lease apartments. Property management is complicated. I'll simplify it for you. There's more competition than ever before. I'm gonna show you how to be number one. All of a sudden, your career, it's gonna make perfect sense, even if you've never worked in sales or property management before. And for the advanced property manager, I'm gonna show you how to take things to the next level. Leasing University is a new, simple, step-by-step process that's effective. We're gonna help you become a rock star in property management. I'm Matt Easton, and this is Leasing University.